Hello again, children. Over the next few weeks, Mrs. Callahan and I are going to read this book. It's called Cosmic, and it's by an author called Frank Cottrell Boyce. I'm going to read the first 2 chapters. It starts a little bit like Star Wars. Not very long ago, in a quiet galaxy close to Liverpool, Liam Digby was just an ordinary 12-year-old boy. A very, very tall, ordinary 12-year-old boy. Some people even think he's a grown-up. This is the incredible story of how he told some fibs, nearly stole a Porsche, went to a theme park, and sort of, by accident, ended up in space. A rocket launched yesterday from a private site in northern China. It's missing. Yesterday, the internet was alive with rumours of a secret manned space mission. Today, NASA and the Russian Federation Space Agency both confirmed that a rocket did take off, but denied it was theirs. The rocket entered high orbit and then disappeared into deep space. No manned rocket has ever left the Earth's orbit since Apollo 17 in 1972. So that's the beginning of the story. The first chapter is called I'm Not Exactly in the Lake District. Mum, Dad, if you're listening, you know I said I was going to the South Lakeland Outdoor Activity Centre with school? To be honest, I'm not exactly in the Lake District. To be completely honest, I'm more sort of in space. I'm on this rocket, the Infinite Possibility. I'm about 200,000 miles above the surface of the Earth, and I'm all right-ish. I know I've got some explaining to do, and this is me doing it. I lied about my age. I sort of gave the impression I was 30. Obviously, I'm more sort of 13-ish on my next birthday. To be fair, everyone lies about their age. Adults pretend to be younger, teenagers pretend to be older, children wish they were grown-ups, and grown-ups wish they were children. It's not like I had to try very hard, is it? Everyone always thinks I'm older than I really am, just because I'm so tall. At St Joan of Arc's primary school, the teachers seem to think that height and age were the same thing. If you were taller than someone, you must be older than them. If you were taller and you made a mistake, even if it was your first day, you got, "You should know better, big lad like you." Why, by the way, why should a big lad know better just because he's big? King Kong's a big lad. Would he know the way to the toilet block on his first day at school when no one had told him? No, I don't think he would. Anyway, a few hours back, the Infinite Possibility was supposed to complete a routine manoeuvre, and basically, it didn't. It rolled out of orbit, wrecking all the communication equipment, and now I'm very lost in space. I've brought this mobile phone with me because it's got pictures of home on it. It's also got an audio diary function, and that's what I'm talking into now. Talking makes me feel less lonely. Unless you get this message, you won't know about any of this because it's a secret mission. They said if it goes wrong, they're just going to deny all knowledge of it. And us. There's 5 of us on board. The others are all asleep. Can you believe that, by the way? We're in a rocket spinning hopelessly out of control and into forever, and what's their chosen course of action? A nap. Well, when we got the manoeuvre just slightly wrong, just slightly enough to make us completely doomed, they all screamed for about an hour, and then they dozed off. I can't sleep. I can't get comfortable in sleeping bags because they're always too small for me. Plus, I think if I stay awake, I might have an idea. And save us all. And that's why I'm recording this on my Drax phone. If I do get home, I'm going to give it to you and then you'll understand how I ended up in deep space when I was supposed to be pond dipping in the Lake District. If you're listening to this though, and you're not my mum and dad, you're probably a pointy-headed, 90-legged, sucker-footed alien, in which case, can I just say, hello, I come in peace. And if you happen to have the technology, please post this phone to Mr. and Mrs. Digby, 23 Glenarm Close, Bootle, Liverpool 22, England, the Earth, the Solar System, the Milky Way, etc., etc., if it's not too much trouble. The next chapter is called Completely Doomed. The slightly worrying thing is that I'm sort of enjoying this. Being doomed is not good, but being weightless is outstanding. Every time I lean forward, I do a perfect somersault. And when I stretch my arms in the air, I levitate. Back on Earth, my only special skills were being above average in maths and height. Up here, I've got so many skills, I'm practically a Power Ranger. Then there's the stars. On Earth, our house is right next to the New Strand shopping centre. The multi-storey blocks out most of the sky. The only stars I ever really noticed were the ones on the It's Your Solar System glow-in-the-dark mobile I got when I was 9. And the only reason I noticed them was that they kept getting tangled in my hair. Mobiles do not make good presents for persons of above average height. The stars look different from here. There's a lot more of them, for one thing. Big swirls and knots and clouds of them, so bright they hurt you to look at. When you're in it, space looks like the biggest firework display ever. Except it's on pause. It looks like freeze-frame fireworks. And even if you're completely doomed, you've got to be impressed. The only bad thing about the view is that it doesn't include Earth. We haven't seen it since we rolled out of orbit. I said to the others, well, it must be here somewhere. We're probably just facing the wrong way. We'll find it, definitely. But that didn't seem to calm them down. One of them, Samson 2, drew me a diagram to prove that even if we were facing the wrong way, we should still be able to see it. I said, so what are you saying? That we've fallen into some magic wormhole and come out the other side of the universe? Possibly, he said. That the whole Earth's just vanished? That it's gone? Possibly, he said. They all screamed until they wore themselves out, and then they went to sleep. At least sleep uses up less oxygen. I have tried to imagine that there's someone on the other end of this phone. Someone unusually quiet. I've also tried to make actual phone calls. I sort of thought the signal might be better up here, being nearer to the satellites, but it doesn't seem to work like that. Chapter 3. My favourite gravity. Mrs. Callahan's going to read the next chapter to you, and I'll catch you a bit later on.